License agreement or franchise agreement? What's the difference? Stick around and I'll tell you. Hi everyone, it's Simon here from the Contract Company. Contracts, that's what we do all day, every day, and sometimes overnight. Lucky us. Anyway, you want to find out the difference between a license agreement and a franchise agreement? No problem. A license agreement generally only gives a person the right to use a specific piece of IP, usually a trademark, a patent, or copyrighted material. And for that right to use that IP, you then pay a license fee. And that's usually all that's set out in a license agreement. However, a franchise agreement allows a person the right to use a particular brand, let's say the Golden Arches. But the franchise agreement will not only allow a person to use the brand of the Golden Arches, but it will set out a whole process and system that the franchisee also has to abide by. For instance, the agreement will set out the fact that a store needs to be fitted out the same way or fit out to certain requirements. The franchise agreement will set out the fact that employees all have to wear a uniform. They'll all have to make the food and compile it in a consistent manner. And there'll be a whole lot of other processes that'll be set out in a franchise agreement. And all that stuff doesn't exist in a license agreement. And that's the main difference between them. A franchise agreement sets out the whole business process, and the franchisor has control over what the franchisee is doing, whereas the license agreement basically just gives a person a right to use a brand and usually is pretty hands-off in terms of what the licensee can do. So that's the main difference between them. Think of it as really about control. Now, if you have a license agreement that actually is found to be a franchise agreement, well, it's not such a big deal. You just got to make sure you comply with the franchising code of conduct. And one of the big issues in the franchising code of conduct is you have to act in good faith. But that's the subject for another video. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us. Simon@contractcompany.com.au or 1-800-355-455. Thanks very much.